vodka guy.
All right, so we're diving into something a little different today. I know you're big into movies, and when I saw Absolution, I knew we had to check it out.
Yeah, Absolution sounds familiar.
Right. Well, it's got everyone talking, so we're going full-on film detective mode.
Using our trusty TMDV, of course.
Exactly. That's our source material for this deep dive. You know, like the cinematic crystal ball.
Love it.
So, first things first, Absolution has like 4 genres listed. Drama, crime, thriller, A&D, mystery. What's going on there?
Well, you know me, I do love a good genre mashup.
Right.
And this one, it's like they're trying to shake things up a bit, break out of that typical gangster movie mold.
Which, let's be real, those can get a little predictable.
Totally. But throw in some thriller elements, a dash of mystery. Suddenly you've got something way more intriguing.
And potentially a much wider audience, right? I mean, I love a good crime drama, but this could pull in folks who wouldn't normally go for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of intrigue, we have to talk about Liam Neeson's role. Billed as Thug. Come on, the man's a national treasure.
I know, right? He's made a career out of playing, like, the ultimate protector. So seeing him listed as Thug is a choice.
Definitely deliberate. Almost like they're playing with our expectations. Like, this isn't the Liam Neeson you think you know. And then there's that tagline.
Oh, the tagline. Don't even get me started on the tagline.
Everyone pays in the end. Chills, man, chills.
Okay, seriously, though. How good at that tagline? 6 words, and it just oozes this sense of, like, impending doom.
Totally. And consequences, right. Like, no one gets away scot-free in this world. It just sets the stakes so high right from the get-go.
And knowing your love for films that make you think, I bet you're eating this up.
Oh, absolutely. And the budget, right. $30 million. Not exactly chump change, but it's not a CGI fest either.
Which tells you what?
Tells me they're probably focusing on story, characters, atmosphere, the good stuff.
Okay, you can't just casually mention the budget and not tell me who's directing this thing. Spill the beans.
Oh, right. Well, the director is, get this, Hans-Peter Molland. Rings a bell.
Molland. Not really. Should I be, like, glued to my seat already? Who is this guy?
Okay, so he did In Order of Disappearance. It's this crime film, but, like, darkly comedic.
Okay. I might have caught that one on a late-night streaming binge.
Yeah, well, Molland's got this really distinct style, visually, lots of stark landscapes,
Yeah, like bleak but beautiful, right?
Exactly. He uses shadows and composition in a way that's just unsettling. And his characters, always morally complex, like you're never quite sure if you should be rooting for them or not.
See, now this is what I'm talking. This whole morally gray area is right up my alley.
Yeah.
We're getting a sense that this isn't your average shoot-'em-up gangster flick.
No, definitely not. And it's not just the director, right? The cast is phenomenal, too.
Oh, yeah. We touched on Liam Neeson, but there's Ron Perlman, Yolanda Ross. I mean, these are heavy hitters.
Exactly. And Frankie Shaw, don't underestimate her. She brings a certain intensity to her roles.
They're not just showing up for a paycheck. These actors, they choose their projects carefully. Makes you wonder what they saw in this script.
Speaking of, did you get a chance to browse through the full cast list on TMDB?
Oh, yeah. I always do a deep dive on the actors. It's like, who LSE is involved, You can tell a lot about a movie by who signs on.
Totally. It's all connected.
Speaking of connected, did you notice the content issues section on TMDB? It's kind of vague.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, they just have content issues listed. No specifics or anything.
Which, of course, makes me even more curious. What are they hinting at? Is it something about, the criminal underworld, like glorifying violence?
Could be. Or maybe it ties into that whole moral ambiguity thing we were talking about, like challenging our perceptions of right and wrong.
Oh, for sure. And honestly, in this day and age, a movie that sparks a little debate, gets people thinking, that's valuable.
Absolutely. Those are often the films that stick with us, the ones we're still discussing weeks or even months later.
Exactly. It's like they tap into something bigger than just entertainment. They become part of the cultural conversation. And isn't that the mark of truly great art? To make you think and feel.
Right. And you know what else is interesting? This whole pre-release buzz, the mystery surrounding Absolution, it's all part of the experience now.
It's like we're putting together this puzzle, right? All these little pieces, these clues about the movie.
Yeah. The genre, Liam Neeson as Thug, that tagline, the director, but we still don't have the complete picture.
And that's the exciting part. We're not just being spoon-fed information. We're actively digging for it. Using TMDB as our, what did you call it?
Our cinematic crystal ball.
Right. Like cinematic detectives.
Exactly.
But we've only scratched the surface with TMDB. There's posters, trailers, even behind-the-scenes stuff.
Oh, yeah. It's a goldmine of movie details over there.
Okay. But before we send our listeners down that rabbit hole,
Yeah.
what are your big takeaways? What's got you most hyped about Absolution?
Honestly, the potential. It could be something really special, you know? A film that flips the script, gets people talking. We've got the director, the cast, a story that's not afraid to get a little dark.
I'm right there with you. And speaking of timing, did you notice the release date? November 1st.
Interesting. Not exactly prime time for a big action flick.
Right. November, that's when we get those moodier, more character-driven stories.
The kind that stick with you.
Exactly. The ones that make you think, make you feel something. Weeks, months later, you're still thinking about them.
And I get the feeling Absolution might just be that film, the one everyone's talking about, come December.
Okay, so to wrap things up for our listeners, today we did a deep dive into Absolution using our trusty TMDB.
We talked genre bending, casting choices, the director's style. We even got a little freaked out by the vague content issues warning.
But hey, that's part of the fun. It's all about embracing the mystery, letting our curiosity guide us.
So, dear listener, we're handing the baton to you.
Go explore TMDB, check out Absolution, and tell us what you think. Hit us up on social media. Let's keep this conversation going.
Until next time.
Happy watching.
Avaka.